Behind me is the diner Burger in Cyberpunk 2077, a fictional restaurant that serves as one of the many ways developer CD Projekt Red simulates realism across Night City. But this restaurant is completely unrealistic. It's littered with trash, swarming with flies, and literally has no kitchen despite what the menu claims. There's just no way a place like this would be in business in real life. So that got me thinking, are any of Cyberpunk's restaurants realistic? To answer this question, we're going on a cuisine cruise to 11 sit-down restaurants to test how realistic they are and see if you'd actually want to eat at them. We're gonna look at cleanliness, seating, kitchens, and things you've probably never seen before. Then we're gonna rank them on a tier list from best to worst. And then once we have our restaurant hierarchy, we can crown the most realistic restaurant in Cyberpunk. Let's begin. Pies. Before we even walk inside of Pies, I want to show you a few things I found outside. Check out the retro spinning sign. Very cool. And that's not even the coolest part about this area. Take a look at this parking lot. Why is this parking lot so big and poorly drawn out? Obviously, it's here to help sell the realism, but the scale is just way off. The ratio between parking spots to parking lot size is just completely wrong, which is pretty cool, but very unrealistic. And judging by the lack of vehicles, we could assume this restaurant is empty, but that's also wrong. The first thing I noticed when I walked inside was the noise.
Send the word space to 7299.
Sports bars in real life have tens of TVs, but only one or two actually play sound. But Pies has every TV on full blast, and that sound is amplified by the combination of music, chatter, and eating noises. If this is the evolution of sports bars, I pity our ears. And our eyes, because it's also disgusting inside. The floors are littered with trash, the tables look just as bad, and even the trash cans look trashy. The seating layout is weird and all over the place, and the bar has no stools to sit down on. But my favorite thing inside of Pies is the back wall appliance. They have soda cans and pizzas stored all along the wall like a morgue for the menu. My first thought was that these were ovens to cook the pizzas because I never found a conventional kitchen here. But then, why would soda cans be placed here if they were ovens? And it technically isn't storage because I found two back rooms with kegs and jarred food. This is probably just meant to be storage compartments for food and drinks, but it's very strange and doesn't make a whole lot of sense, which is exactly why I like it. It's pretty cool. Someone had to go through the thought process of designing this thing. And if you never took the time to come here, you may never have seen this new invention. And that's pretty sad. Pies is going in the C tier. Let's see what's next. Hometown Deli. Look behind me. You see this guy? He's cleaning the window. We are already off to a hot start. Walking inside, the best way to describe this place is modern, sterile. The dark woods and warm lighting help make it feel inviting and cozy, but the lack of personality and almost over cleanliness makes this place feel way out of budget, which is in direct contradiction to its name. What hometown deli looks like this? I don't know. This is footage from a deli where I live, and they couldn't look more different. This is the type of restaurant where you take 2 bites of the meal and then say you're full to be polite. With that being said, the organization is just incredible. Tables are set up and ready to go, and the literal only thing I found on the floor was a dropped butter knife. Like that's it, seriously. The bar seating isn't cramped, the eating areas are small but look super comfortable, and the showcase of alcohol is top notch. Now, we can't actually get behind the counter to see the kitchen, but with the help of a camera mod, we can just fly through it and take a look. And just check out how beautiful it is. Wow. Everything is right where it needs to be. It's just stunning. It feels like one of those upscale bathroom remodels you can walk through at Home Depot. It's so pristine and untouched that if you told me food had never been prepared here, I may be inclined to believe you, but I don't. It almost feels too perfect. Like I'm skeptical this is even a working kitchen, which is a product of it being closed off, and that's why it feels so liminal back here. We aren't supposed to be in here. Hometown Deli was an excellent experience, but it's still a bustling contradiction, so it will be going firmly in the B tier. All right, what's next? Capitan Caliente. This is Capitan Caliente, and before we go inside, I want to show you this waitress. Her name is Tess, and she's currently taking an order from a customer, something we haven't seen yet. Not sure why she has blood on her face, or maybe that's like, hopefully that's hot sauce, I guess. I don't know, it's weird. I've never seen so many bugs inside a restaurant. The bug zappers don't seem to work at all. However, I love the layout of the main floor. A literal red carpet is designed to walk you straight to the counter to order. And that's where we can get a good look at the kitchen. They have a very intricate pipe system with a water line under the floor, a stove, presser, fryers, and a sink. But this is the coolest thing I found inside of this restaurant. Do you see it? Do you see this? Taking a closer look, we can find a sales contract to a mango farm, meaning Capitan Caliente sources its mangoes locally. Well done. It's awesome. Along with meditations and mantras. I don't know what the rest of these papers are. It's very weird, but they're there. This bunch of papers is really strange, but that's why I love it. It's a great detail to find, but keeping your sales contracts taped on the wall under a vent is probably not the best place to store it. And on my way to the kitchen, I did find a leaking pipe up there, so that needs to be addressed as soon as possible. The vibes are great, and the proof of food source is even cooler, but it's pretty unrealistic. C tier. Let's see what's next. Ginger Panda. This is Ginger Panda, aka Red Light Therapy of the restaurant, and I love it. The vibes are amazing. The soft music is perfect for the background. The lighting is inviting and not too harsh. The space layout is intimate and very well thought. There's a shrine with incense. This is crazy. The trash is swept into a corner and the storage is pretty. I love the architecture and style here. There are all sorts of cool furniture pieces and weird abstract designs meant to fill out the restaurant, and they add this feeling of authenticity that we just haven't seen yet. This place is really clean. The dirtiest spot in here is the bathroom, which still needs to be addressed, but if that's gonna be the dirtiest spot in here, I guess I can live with that. This is exactly the kind of versatile restaurant you want in Night City. Perfect for date nights, friend outings, kid's birthday, divorce presentation, illegal gambling, business talk, you name it. And check this out, I love this. The steam and smoke from the kitchen is well maintained through a flag and vent system, which is genius. The smoke and steam gets trapped in the flags and then is sucked up through the vent. Like, what an incredible design that is. I feel like I can smell this place through the screen. You know what I mean? And I mean that as a compliment. I love the whole hibachi style of cooking, but when you take a closer look at it, how do they get out? No, like literally, like, are they having to climb in and out of this kitchen because there's no door or foldable top? They're just like trapped, which means these NPCs have to stand here and cook for eternity. Kind of a sad existence, but hey, at least it's in a good restaurant. I love Ginger Panda. I would take my loved ones here, and that's why it's going firmly in the S tier. Well done. Next, Burger and Kenmore Diner. So we're tackling these next two restaurants together because they're kind of twins, just hear me out. The layout is the exact same except for one booth. They both have the same exact spilled fry box, and the back door is marked off by the same yellow paint and barrier. However, there are some key differences. This one was definitely hit with the ugly stick. Burger is more annoying, more dirty, and has no staff to wait on people. It also has the love sack booth that can seat probably 10 uncomfortable people, and then 2 poor souls have to take the corner edges. Not it. And apparently, there's no standard for clothes. Get the hell away from me. Jesus. Kenmore Diner is under the highway, so it's a little louder, but it has less flies. It also has less screens, making it feel a bit more like a diner than Burger. It's really cool getting to compare two restaurants that are built the same, but have different qualities inside. It's almost self-aware of the nuances of real-life restaurants. Okay, listen, I'd be willing to bet you have at least 2 McDonald's somewhere near your house or apartment or wherever you live. They have the same inside, same menu, same everything. If you disregard the distance and put them right next to each other, you know damn well which one you're picking and why. Burger and Kenmore Diner are the physical manifestations of that feeling of preference. Or more likely, these are just reused assets and I'm utterly insane. Both of these diners will be going in the D tier, but I'll give the edge to Kenmore Diner. Okay, next. Kashu Hanten. The next stop we have is Kashu Hanten. I hope I'm saying that right, sorry. A ramen and sushi joint with a deep, dark secret. Do you know what it is? I bet you don't. This restaurant is a front for an illegal card-making ring that is supplying casinos with tampered playing cards. No, seriously. If you try and go into the back, you'll be met with guns and animosity. And after taking control of the situation, you can find all the information you need on this laptop. While I do think there are probably restaurants in real life that are cover-ups for massive crime, I'm not sure you'd be met with the same reaction if you tried to look at the deep fryers at LJS. They'd probably just be like, the fuck? The restaurant side of this operation is pretty dirty, and the kitchen is the worst of it, unfortunately. The customers don't really seem to mind, but I do. This will not stand, man. But the best part about this restaurant is the sushi conveyor belt, which is a pretty common thing to find in Japan. Conveyor belt sushi was invented by Yoshiaki Shiraishi and put into its first restaurant in 1958 called... I'm not saying that one. Nope. The rest of the restaurant is pretty underwhelming outside of the arcade and the cute little stereo. However, considering what has happened to all of the fake staff, I am not sure how much longer it will be in business. Kashu Hanten was a fun surprise, but ultimately earns a D ranking. All right, next. Kabuki Market. This restaurant has no name, and that's exactly why I'm calling it Kabuki Market. I seriously looked everywhere and even translated the Japanese inside and outside, and there's seriously just no name at all. So that's why I'm just gonna name it where it's located. It's inside of the Kabuki Market area, so that'll be that. This is a small and humble little ramen shop for quick meals. The fold-out chairs tell a story of desperation, while the see-through plastic tarp tells the story of Dexter. It was fun to walk through, but I don't understand the purpose at all. It doesn't block someone's walking path, nor does it block the vision for privacy. It's just there. Also, I've never seen a restaurant add seating at the counter. Look at this. This would be like if someone could sit on the side of the hostess stand. This makes it awkward for everyone ordering, and there's no way this is comfortable. But my favorite spot in this whole place is one blocked off for regular customers, so we're gonna need to fly again. Check this out. We have sleeping quarters. This is sick. Whoever the owner is, they must be a cold hustler because sleeping in the office is some real player shit. However, the craziest thing in here is directly above. Take a look. What is this thing? Seriously, like, what on earth is this? Is it a big battery or like a EMP warhead? I have no idea, but it's crazy looking. It's really cool. It makes me wonder, why is it placed in the middle of a shop, in a market, in the sleeping quarters that you can't even go into? Why? This has clearly been thought out enough to be placed here, and I love it. I just love it. This is crazy. The no-named Kabuki Market was a weird little spot. C tier. Let's see the next one. Tom's Diner. This is Tom's Diner, and they are ballin' on a budget. Roaches crawl over the cardboard welcome mats. They have a set of stools right by the dumpster, and there's no way these back patio lawn chairs are comfortable. There's just no way. These are the type of seats that when it rains, you get pools of water stuck on them, and they're there for like 3 weeks after the rain. These chairs suck. Fucking hate him. I'd kick him if I could. Fucking. This place is so old, it might as well just start campaigning for office. But the inside is cleaner than the alley it sits in, which is good. I love the black and white checkered floor. It's very nostalgic and really brings out the vintage vibe. And that goes along with the uniforms and the neon burger sign. The kitchen is really messy, but what I love about this one is that it feels like something in your grandma's house. Or is that just me? That might just be me. All of this makes Tom's Diner feel like one of those restaurants that's been converted from a house, you know what I mean? And that's really cool. Although, this is super disappointing. I am sad. Do you see it? These are the exact same papers we saw at Capitan Caliente. Obviously, the assets are reused to save time and energy on aspects of the game that, quote, matter less. There's no real reason to go into restaurants outside of a few mission start points because you don't need to eat to live, like in Minecraft, for example. But it's always fun seeing what liberties they take to save time when the restaurant itself is pretty fleshed out. I also just love that the developers have deemed diners as a nostalgic part of society still. Like today, in the big 2025, we have nostalgia for diners, but in the big 2070, wouldn't the nostalgia be for restaurants around now, right? Cyberpunk LJS, anybody? Out of the 3 diners we saw, this was definitely my favorite and the most realistic out of the bunch. C tier. Next. Ramen shop. Down in the depths here, we have the ramen shop, the first restaurant with recycling bins. No, seriously. Haven't seen one yet. The space is small, but used pretty well. The tables and bar stools peel off right and left to leave the walkway super open, maybe too open. It feels more like a dance floor than a place to order ramen, you know what I mean? The biggest issue I found was the lack of a menu. Not on the table, not at a bar, and not even on the screens. It's just stocks. It's just stoinks. Also, the game over sticker on the missing person sign is crazy. The kitchen was the total highlight here. This is what a working kitchen looks like. Not too dirty, but not too clean. And the complex ventilation system above just looks awesome. And the backroom storage filled with drinks is exactly what you want to see. The ramen shop feels like a restaurant you hit up with your drunk friends at 2 a.m. It has soft vibes. You know what I mean? A night of bad decisions can be cleansed with the soothing hands of hot ramen. The ramen shop is going firmly in the B tier. Next. Roasted noodles. This is roasted noodles, but I guarantee not a single one of you have ever heard of it because I made it up. Not really, just the name. Once again, we have a restaurant that is nameless. But this time, on every table, there's a little, light box that says roasted noodles on it. Is that the name of the place? Probably not, but it sounds fitting, so we're rolling with it. This restaurant is very casual. Like one of those places you go to eat at 3 p.m. because you missed lunch, but don't want to wait till 6. Or that restaurant that your dad takes you to when your mom's out of town. It's got that kind of vibes. You guys know what I'm saying? And while you're waiting on your food, you can play at one of the many arcade machines. While the area itself is small, the spacing is utilized quite well, and the pathways are very clearly open. Besides the trash by one of the machines, someone may have been attempting a high score run, so can't hate. Although we have another water pipe leak near the kitchen that needs immediate attention, or like a bucket. Can we not place a bucket here? But the weirdest and coolest thing here is the kitchen itself. Let's take a look. Flying into the back, the kitchen feels like a level in Saw. The only light peeks through the window, and the white doctor's office walls add no character, which in a weird way gives it character, you know? I've never seen a kitchen like this because you aren't supposed to be back here. It's meant to serve as a backdrop in an unnamed location that has no real use to the game other than existing for the NPCs to create the illusion of a real city. And the employee back here must have lost his mind a long time ago. This man will stand here and serve the noodles forever. He doesn't walk around, he walks in place. He doesn't serve food, he just stirs and that's about it. Such is life, walking the walk and talking the talk. Shut the fuck up. Roasted Noodles is a fun little smudge on the map, but it's heading straight into B tier. So this is our restaurant hierarchy. Very cool. Ultimately, the realism in these restaurants doesn't really matter. The quality of an open world game is not dependent on the details of random buildings meant for world building, but they do exist and they were created with character, as we've come to see. And that's always worth looking into, even if it seems so meaningless. I would love to know what your favorite stop was today, or if I showed you something you hadn't seen before in this massive game. So please, let's all give a round of applause for our most realistic restaurant, Ginger Panda. This calls for a celebration. Sake on me. Wait, that sounds kind of bad. No.